little bit to this way. No. Okay. Yeah, right there. Yeah, man. We're in the building.
Am I in there or is it?
You in there? I can see you. I think my mic is too loud. My mic sounds right. Check one. My mic sounds right. Check two. Ooh, sorry. Alrighty. What's going on, man? We're in the building. You already know what time it is, man. It's time for the Posio Podcast. Every Friday from 8 to 10. Right here in www.kstormradio.com. Also, you could go to Posio Podcast on YouTube. You know, that's where we at. And we also on my IG. You know what I mean? Silky Slim, baby. 006. Why is it so blurry? What's going on, man?
Set your camera.
I'm trying to make me, they won't let me be great. They're not trying to let me be great, man. Did I start already? Oh, I didn't even start. Yo, I wasn't even live yet. Oh, I'm not over here though. I'm not on YouTube.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
just long press it.
we here.
That's when you see the
Posio Podcast, as you can see,
Okay.
people, we doing what we do. And we got a couple guests in the building. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff going on in the city. You already know what time it is, man. We like I always say, we the precursor to the fun. Every Friday, 8 to 10. We out here, Posio Podcast. I'm gonna talk to my people right here. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves and then I'm gonna take it from there. What's going on, man?
Sure. I'm Yvette Wilkes.
McGirt.
Gert. I love the name though already. It remind me of those old school, like, you know what I mean, like, tough guy.
That's what it is.
Gert McGirt. Yes, sir. So what's going on, man? It's been a minute.
As we counted earlier, it's
Yeah.
been about 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I bring a lot of people back, you know what I mean? So and as well as new people too. So I like to keep in touch.
Well, no, that's true. And, even after the whole COVID and everyone just kind of recalibrated, and here we are. And so it's nice to be back.
Nice to see you.
I'm amongst veterans here. Shoot.
Why you gotta talk to girl? Girl gotta talk about some stuff, you know what I mean? Just establish like who he is out here, you know what I'm saying? So y'all get to know a little bit. Who the hell is this man out here sitting over there? You know what I mean? And everything he done did. You know what I mean? Not like
And still does.
But a lot of stuff.
Back in the days too, like the first one, Def Comedy Jam here. I did at the Strand, Symphony Hall. I did a lot of shows back then. I did Yo-Yo at the Strand. I did Karis One. I did a lot of people.
So you was like a promoter out here.
Yeah, I was a promoter too.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus I was rolling with fellas that, all my boys was MCs.
Yeah. Doing their thing.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man. We glad to hear that, man, because I know you got some story to tell. You definitely got some story to tell. You know what I mean? But we gotta get to that a little bit later on. So, Yvette, what's going on with you, man? It's been a minute though, but I have been keeping tabs a little bit. I ain't gonna sit there in front like I was interviewed the whole time. But I have been keeping tabs. I see you doing your thing, and you still do your podcast thing.
So the media center is coming back online. So we are able to do our radio shows, our podcasts now. We're in training to open up the new studio, and so that should happen in a couple of months. So we just started
training. Where's that gonna be at, though?
It is over in Somerville, over by Aeronaut. So it's this new great place called Summer Nova, the Innovation Hub, and so they've allowed a lot of nonprofits to come in. They've also allowed, they have a lot of businesses that are these hubs for innovation, and so it's just a great place to be. So I'm excited about the media center being there.
So they pretty much like open like there's one like that I think in Brockton, right? Yeah, because I had a radio up there. It's like a whole building, but the whole building is nothing but for creative, cultural stuff and whatnot.
That's nice.
The whole building.
Well, you know, next time I come on the show, we'll talk about what they're doing at Summer Nova, because they are getting ready to rezone that area, build up new buildings, have a space for creatives, a space for senior citizens, the youth. So it's just going to be a great little spot.
So basically, they're just trying to like kind of like build like a little entertainment park over there, like to cater to the people that's around the area. They don't need to go too far because Somerville got stuff, but not that much stuff.
That's true. What they do have is the Somerville, the annual Evolution of Hip Hop Festival. So
which is,
that's been going on for 11 years,
Yeah.
and so we've been working on that. And that's what's very exciting is that we are doing that in Somerville. But over at Summer Nova, there are a lot of businesses, new businesses that are like entrepreneurs. They are moving to that space. And there's a lot of space happening in Union Square with the Life Sciences building. So a lot of up and coming exciting things that are happening. But the biggest thing is, what Greg and I are trying to do, Gerke and I are trying to do is with all of these different events, we're also trying to make sure that we tell people we want jobs for our young people.
Okay.
We want more than just internships. We want them to receive training and also be able to be hired into these roles, not just intern or shadow, but be hired. And there's like 3 huge
Have
buildings.
a long-term commitment to
Well,
kind
just
of
get
transitioning
hired.
people from training
Well,
to
just
being
not
hired.
hiring somebody as an internship and then you're there for 6 months and now you've got to take that experience and go find another job. Let's find ways to get these young kids trained and also the opportunity to.
But I know this is a great idea and everything, but is there do you realize, is there space, like is there businesses down there already that's functioning down there that kind of like, that's gonna make the transition easier? Or because I don't know if there's that much stuff over there to cover the amount of people that would probably want to be in the training and get through that program and get a job like right then and there. Is there stuff there?
I can't wait for you to come over to Summer Nova.
I'm asking. I'm not there, so.
You gotta see it for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're able to expand. But regardless of all of that stuff that's happening, we as adults and the responsible individuals, we need to help create pathways for our young people to access these jobs. We need to advocate for them and tell organizations whenever we have an opportunity, utilize our platform to say, hey, look, we want to make sure that our young people have jobs, not temporary jobs, but have jobs that give them longevity.
Give me an example of the type of job that you guys would be training people for.
Well, it's not the jobs that I'm going to be training people
Not
for,
so much you, but that,
just in the life sciences, you have. Do you remember when the Prince and Princess came to Boston? Maybe about 3 years ago?
Yeah, a few years ago,
Right.
yeah.
So one of the spaces that they visited was Greentown Labs in Somerville, right there by Market Basket. And so they have the innovation labs. You have climate people that are in these spaces. So climate jobs are available, engineers, those type of things are out there. But a lot of times people, I hear that they may not be able to find the individuals that you and I are talking about. So that's why I'm saying we have to utilize our platforms to make sure that these things happen. Building the bridges, being advocates, speaking up for our young people. Yes.
How long have you been advocate?
For many years. 28.
28 years?
Yeah.
What caused you to that, though? It had to be something that triggered. You know what I mean? We all get. There's a method to my madness. Do we all get triggered?
Well,
We all get triggered. You know how we become something. Like we become something, but it didn't just get up. You get up one day, and be like, I'm gonna do that. It's just. It has to be a progression where you get to a point you're like.
I think it's probably her, like dealing with her kids, growing up with her kids, seeing all the other stuff that some of the kids that really didn't have, you know, as a parent, you know what I'm saying, in that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see it.
Yeah.
You're a very motherly
Yeah.
He's one of those like. Oh.
Well, I'm not a lot of people are going to say that about me, that I am that, but especially for our young people, especially for people that are, you know, really trying to do things, you know, we see things that happen around us all the time. And I have to say, you know, I haven't always been a talker. You know, I grew up with this fear about, you know, that I just haven't always been. And there was a fear of being an advocate and speaking out. But things happen, like Greg said, you know, becoming a mother, seeing the injustices that are done to kids, and knowing that I have a choice of either sitting back and watching it or speaking up, just like maybe my parents did for me, you know.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. The reason why I ask is just sometimes, like, I want my audience to kind of, whoever comes in, you know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes we get tough guys that comes in, like, you know, mean mugging, you know what I mean? I'm like, give me 20 minutes, you know, I'm off real quick, you know what I mean? They come in, and by the time they leave, they, you know, everybody's had a great time, and you know, sometimes it's like, I want people to know the person behind the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, cause sometimes, you know, then you can relate to certain, because, you know, a lot of time people see people and they just like, they judge you off a picture. Right. Or a short little video. Or something somebody said about you 20 years ago.
That's how
and it gets stuck.
That's how everything works.
But it's
not the way it's supposed to go.
I get it, but it's quite annoying. Like, I hate it myself. Like, I hate that. It's like, hold up, did you take 5 minutes to get to know that person? You know, have a conversation? Maybe you'll figure it out that's not who you think they are. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
But sometimes that's a good thing, because it eliminates people a lot of times, right?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But good. You know what I'm saying? With that said, like, did you encounter, like, you know, like personalities like that? You know, sometimes they just come up. You know, first meet, they're looking at you like you done commit a murder or something.
Hey, all my life, because, you know, one of the things that I was head of security for Bobby Brown. I was on 3 or 4 world tours.
Okay.
All over the world.
Okay.
You know?
That done see some stuff.
You know actually, I was on 227. I was on Saturday Night Live.
We got a hood legend in here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
American Music Awards, the Grammys, my pictures on all of them. I've been on all of them.
Yes.
You know?
Okay.
Everywhere. Just having a great time.
So you did encounter, like, you know, like multiple different personalities and characters and
all kind of stuff.
So how'd you manage to keep a level, you know, headed guy? Because you been a security in that,
but to be honest, only way I was able to cope, I was unlevel too. You know what I'm saying? So I had to cope that way.
Yeah.
You know, so 2 unlevel people can't get it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is true, but sometimes it could bring friction.
Yeah.
But if you're security.
If you're security.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, even when he's saying that, I know there's a part of him that's very cool and calculated.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
to be head of security, you have to be able to,
but
you know.
See, this is where a lot of people get security mixed up with. Security is stopping the problem before it happens. So you see things and you act and you act
be
before it
proactive,
happens.
yes.
Yeah.
You kind of like nudging a little, you know, to the other side.
You know,
Yeah,
you gotta be able to see
you avoid
things.
stuff. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people don't.
That is true. Thank God I've been able to do it.
You know?
Back in those days, you know, it was kind of rough. It was kind of rough to be outside. You know how these kids are talking about we outside. Fools, you couldn't say that back in the day.
You know when you can stand in a club or anywhere and you can watch things and you can see a person come in and you can know this person is.
You can read that body language.
Trouble.
Yeah, you can read the body language. Yes.
So you have to watch that.
Yes.
You know?
So how'd you go about getting involved with this whole hip hop thing, show thing? I mean, you know, I guess, you know, it happened in
I was there with them for a long time from the beginning.
Okay.
You know? So that's sort of what did it. Bobby Brown was one of my best friends, so ended up on the road doing that. came back doing shows. Before I was doing shows, we was running together doing shows. Me, Benzino, which is Ray Dog, and Dave Mays, and another brother, Ezel. We did the first rap show at the Harlem Gym.
Okay.
We had DJ Cheese, Word of Mouth. We had a few people there. It was dope. And that was one of the first shows that we did. So then we started doing it from there.
And then, but after all of this, you know, you went all around the world. You know, it was great. It was lovely. I'm sure it was. Oh, I'm sure. I'm dreaming about it right now.
Beautiful.
Shit, I would have been in trouble. But yeah,
I was with Bobby going around well when he was at the top of his
Oh,
game.
my God.
So,
you know,
God.
yeah. I
Can
know.
you even
Please don't
imagine
rub it
that?
in my face, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all good.
it's an experience that you would never ever be able to take.
You can't take it away from me. You know what I'm saying? So,
Really.
but after all of that, you know what I'm saying? You know, everything died down and whatnot, whatever. Everybody went their own way. You know, do life was life and whatnot, whatever. And then you came back, and then you're sitting there thinking, what am I gonna do?
Came back and left and went back to Atlanta with my brothers where we did
Okay. See, that's what I'm trying to
We
do.
did the song Promise for Jagged Edge. That's one of our songs. We did
Okay.
Deluxe song. We got 3 songs on Jagged Edge's album. Actually, they got a deal off of the demo we did for them in
Okay.
Atlanta. You know,
Big up.
we got a song on Blair Witch. We got a song on Blue Street. We got a song on Thin Line.
I remember all these movies.
You know,
When you say it, they popping in my head.
Yeah, we did a lot. We did a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
Do you write it?
Well, we write music. You
Oh, you're right. Oh,
you know, a producer's right.
Yeah, that is true because you writing notes.
You writing notes,
Yeah,
you know?
that is kind of true. I never thought about it. Well, I kind of. Yeah, you are kind of right. But I'm asking you. But I'm asking you, are you a writer?
Yeah, I'm not a writer, but
No, write music, write songs.
I can write songs.
Okay.
I can write poems. I can write whatever.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. The man is multi-talented. You know what I mean? I'm actually feeling proud for him.
Hold on, check
I
this
don't know
out,
what
check
it
this out.
is. I feel like I'm doing it.
Hold on, listen to this. Check this out.
Yeah.
I actually was the opening act for Bobby Brown overseas.
Okay.
Me and my partner Billy used to work at Alpha Mega, Big Bill.
Damn it, I wish we had a
Hey,
symbol. I could just throw it in
He was
there.
a group called XL, Extra Large.
Did you have the curl?
You know everybody.
The Jerry Curl?
I didn't have no Jerry curl.
No, we didn't really do the Jerry curl. But we did some stuff I
I'm
had.
gonna tell you what we did. We did what you call the Hawaiian silk.
Yeah, I remember those. Bobby had them. Bobby had them.
You know,
Bobby had them. I said, remember when they were younger? They had these little curls and.
That's what it was back then.
Okay.
It was funny.
Not the Jerry curl.
Go to the.
I had the tail though.
No, see,
You
I
never had the tail?
Never
I had
had
the tail. You know, my tail was mad long too. I had
Wow.
the tail.
That's what's up.
I never had the gummy though.
Nah, me neither.
Nah, I didn't do it. I didn't think it was gonna be.
Everybody can't wear it.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think it was gonna look good on me.
Everybody can't wear a tail neither.
True.
Some guys put a tail on, they look just like a big rat.
That is true. That is true. But my tail was fly though. What? You can tell me nothing. What? What? You forget it. You touch my tail, it's on. It was on. Yo, the stuff we used to do back in the days, man. It was
Oh,
crazy.
yeah,
It was fun. It was fun. I ain't gonna lie. So the hip hop thing. When is it?
Actually, it's August 2nd, the Hip Hop Festival.
That's
The
one of them.
That's one of them. We
We're
got
doing two.
We have, this is our 2nd annual Hip Hop Festival in Harvard Square.
Does it include local artists and outside artists, or is just local artists?
All depends on.
It all depends. And see, that's the thing. We doing sponsorship now. We building it. You know, it started out. So you know,
Yeah,
every
you got that.
year it's getting bigger and bigger. So
Okay.
it's like we started out. It was just us.
Mm-hmm.
We funded it ourselves. We did everything ourselves.
Let them know where it's gonna be at too, though. Like
Harvard Square.
Harvard Square, right there by Harvard.
August 2nd,
So you know it's something
Right,
serious.
August 2nd. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
the second World Music Hip Hop Festival is happening in Harvard Square, Cambridge, Massachusetts.
That's gonna be
Brown
fun.
Street.
You guys gonna have like vendors and everything?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Food.
So
Hey, we might even have a macaroni.
Cause I can't go anywhere
a
without.
mac and cheese.
There's gotta be food there, man.
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna be a
yeah.
problem.
But
Yeah.
the thing about Harvard Square is that there are a ton of restaurants there.
There is, yeah.
There's a ton of restaurants.
Yeah, but they don't have our food. You gotta stop.
Okay. Okay.
Do they have
So
our
last
food?
year we had, we
No, I'm
had,
talking about y'all brought it, but not, they don't have it there.
no, they do not have like what we would find at murals,
Yes.
right?
Exactly.
Like some jerk chicken.
So we bring
mac-
those
That's what I'm saying.
When
Like,
we do
yeah,
our things,
that's
we
what
bring
I'm
those
asking,
things.
man.
I know.
Because I want to know. Because I get over there, I get hungry.
Well,
It's a
I
problem.
just want to
man.
hear that.
It's a problem.
You know, okay, if you're asking,
I'll be
like,
mad as
make
hell.
sure we have some decent food that we're
That's
gonna
what I'm
enjoy.
talking about. That's what I'm
Okay.
talking about.
Now, we're back to these hip hop.
Okay.
Good. Nah,
Yes.
I have to secure the food business now.
I get you. I get you.
But
I meant you there.
Good.
So, in August 23rd,
Mhm.
is going to be the 11th annual Evolution of Hip Hop Festival, which happens in Union Square, Somerville, Massachusetts.
There you go.
Both of those festivals, we're always open to hear from individuals that are local artists that may want an opportunity to get on the platform.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are working with FM Collective, who's gonna be, one of our headliners for the August 23rd group, the August 23rd festival.
Mhm.
They are a Latin hip hop group,
Okay.
Crazy,
Cool.
crazy.
yeah, yeah,
And you ain't heard nothing until you heard them.
Really?
Yeah.
They're that nice.
yeah,
Okay.
they got,
And each one of them is from a different
yeah,
Background.
yeah, all of that, one's from
Mexican.
Peru,
Peru.
Ecuador, and these guys met up at Berkeley,
Mhm.
and then when COVID happened, they all went back to their homes, but they were still making music
Okay.
and sending it to themselves
Yeah, yeah,
electronic,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
They,
Thank God for
right.
technology.
Technology, right? And so then once they came back together, then they were able to just start putting out a lot of music. But the guys are great. Marcelo, who leads the group, works
Yeah.
with Brian
Mhm.
and Medford at Event Them.
Mhm.
And so I don't know if you've heard about Event Them, but they provide all kinds of stuff for you
Mhm.
if you're doing a show.
Really?
But yeah, we can talk more about it. But
Okay.
And then,
the big news is
Go ahead. I
what's
stop
happening
playing. Yeah.
on Sunday. It was gonna happen on Saturday, but
we changed it to Sunday for the better day, the weather.
yeah, and it is.
We're doing the third annual Show Riders car show, but it's
Yeah.
the rock and roll.
The car show.
No, it's country soul and rock and roll. We're gonna
Okay.
have those bands playing. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Just like we were in New Orleans.
It's gonna be, just like you was in Mississippi.
Okay. Just gotta check which state I'm out
By
of.
the way,
How I gotta come in. You know what I mean?
Right.
I gotta make sure I come in right.
So the
cowboy
car
boots and hat.
the car show starts at 3:30. Cars will be arriving about 1
What
o'clock.
kind of car we talking?
Vintage, high end,
Okay.
something. If you ain't seen it, you'll see it there.
Oh, okay. Those old school.
Old schools. Like I got 3 myself, but I'm only gonna bring one.
Okay. Who do you bring?
I'm bringing a 69 colors with snakeskin and ostrich on the inside, ostrich roof, ostrich trunk.
Sure.
Mean.
Sure.
The paint on it is wet. It's like you flip out the floors.
I'll get there one day. I'm working on it.
And that's
And so that's his car,
Mhm.
and then there'll be other cars,
Yes,
and
I'm sure.
all of that starts at 3:30.
Mhm.
We are going to have cars on Church Street and Brattle Street, and
sure it's gonna look
individuals
dope.
will be able to walk
I know
around.
it's gonna look
We
dope.
have a few vendors. The
Mhm.
elephant in the room. We have Mr. Madre,
Mhm.
and we have RG.
pillar, shoes.
Yes.
He makes his own
He
shoes.
makes
He
his
got
own
some
shoes.
nice brands.
So that's definitely something different. Mr. Madre sells vinyl, and they also have some very interesting T-shirts. And we all know the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So those will be the vendors there because, as Greg said, we're really trying to grow what we're doing in Harvard Square, and so we also try to be mindful of the vendors,
Mhm.
the stores that are already there,
Yeah.
and we're once again using that word of the bridge.
Yeah.
Creating activities that happen
Mhm.
and creating that bridge so people can learn about the different businesses.
Simple, a little
And
bit
the
of everything.
businesses
Yeah.
can learn about what we bring
Yeah.
to the community.
Simple, a little bit of everything.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I'm loving it. I don't know if I'm gonna be there, but I'm loving it because I've seen, you know how they do this
Okay,
thing
but
in Cambridge.
I'll tell you what, we're not gonna cut you off right
Go
there.
ahead.
But this is something you can do, because actually, we're gonna need you.
Okay.
We do a comedy show every month
Yes.
called Laugh for Cash.
Okay.
Crazy. And we're gonna need you to be a judge, brother.
Yeah.
You need to be a judge? Shit.
We're gonna need, that's one of our judges,
Yeah.
You're gonna have him for a judge.
Make
for
sure
Laugh
I'm
for Cash.
straight.
You know?
Yeah.
I like the swag.
You like this one?
Yeah. I like, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll stay. Call me, I'm there.
For a judge.
I'll show up.
So what it is, we do a show.
Just give me a heads up about a week or
We're
two,
gonna
and
leave
I'm
this
there.
year
And I'm there.
because these are the dates.
We do a show every month, and we pick a winner. Every
Where is that?
The
It's
comedy
at
studio.
the Comedy Studio in
Where's the
Harvard Square.
It's in Harvard Square.
It's
Okay.
in Harvard Square.
Nice.
It used to be the Urban Outfitters,
Okay.
and
Is that
so
around the Hong Kong area?
now it
There you
used to
go.
be at the Hong Kong,
Yeah.
right? It was at the Comedy Studio was at the Hong Kong
It
for
was on top of the
20,
Hong Kong.
20
Yeah.
years,
Okay.
20 plus years.
Because I remember there was a comedy thing.
Yeah,
everybody used to
go
I
down
couldn't
there.
see, I didn't even know if it was in there, but I knew there was something.
Yeah, it was on the
back in
third
days.
floor or
Yeah.
something. right?
They moved to
Yeah.
Somerville.
They
for like
moved to
7 years.
Somerville for,
About
and they were in Bow Market, and then they came back to Harvard Square.
Okay.
And, you know, we were involved with, Greg and I are involved with the Harvard Square Business Association. And so then, you know, networking, things happen. And so now we've been hosting our events since,
last year.
yeah,
Okay.
last year, but we
Spoken
kicked
word,
off.
We did
Yeah, we did a lot of different
we did
things
a lot of
last
different
year.
things last
But
year.
in January, we kicked off
Mhm.
the Laugh for Cash series. We're on series 2. And what a series consists of is a minimum of shows where we pick a winner, and then we have a showcase. At that showcase, we invite back all of the winners, and the winners have an opportunity to win the purse of the night, which is $500.
And they get to host or headline their own show.
Yeah.
That is dope. Well, because there's a, you know what?
And this is the opportunity we give it for
Yeah.
all new comedians,
Yeah.
because every night that you come, you get a chance to win money, cash to leave with. So we give out cash that night.
Laugh for Cash.
This is great, yo. It's like my head's spinning right now because I don't know which thing to talk about because there's so many stuff going on.
And we
here.
showcase every show.
Mm.
We showcase the new artists every month.
Yes.
Like we had Edo there, we had
Maceo Mays.
Maceo Mays.
Yes. Lee.
All kind of dope new artists.
Yeah.
We work with
So,
Tony Lowe, Scary.
yeah,
And so that's another
get you
thing
some guests over here too.
is to
It sounds
well,
fun, dude. Like I'm like thinking about it. I don't know what you know what I mean.
Oh, it's nice. It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
definitely
What I was
wanna
gonna
check it
say
out.
is the other part about all of these things is that we also are trying to build a bridge with producers. So, you know, a lot of times people go directly to the artist, but there are a lot of producers that are doing a lot of great work. And so we reach out to producers and say,
get the
hey,
artists.
do you have somebody that you wanna showcase at our event?
Yeah.
And it's them. You know, how many times
Yeah, that's a
do we
good
really
idea,
talk
yeah.
about the producers?
You get straight to the
Gunsy,
source, yeah.
Tony. Yeah.
And that's what we do.
What did you say?
You get straight to the source.
To the source.
I don't know. I'm listening, but feel me.
The source.
Oh, okay.
To the source.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I get it. That comedy thing, man, it sounds fun though. Like I love comedy, so that would be something that I would totally enjoy.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we have our DJ Twin Selector every month for the comedy show.
Heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
heard of him.
we work
Way
with-
back. He's been doing this.
Actually he's Millie's DJ.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Twin
He's not
Selector.
DJ at the comedy studio, but he's
Yeah.
Millie's
I'm
DJ.
trying to get Milia in here, you know what I'm saying? A couple of people promised me things, you know what I'm saying? You see my face, player. I'm waiting on y'all, so make it happen. Or else I'm gonna move on to the next source. Stop playing. Because they promised me, so they gotta keep their promise. I'm trying to see if I can get Milia in here real quick. You know, that would be a good look for the student.
So
big
I
up
do
you,
want to
big up
go
there.
back to
Mhm.
the schedule for
Okay.
Sunday.
Okay.
So the car show is
Mhm.
from starts at 3:30,
Mhm.
and then at 5:30, our judges are going to announce the winners of the car shows. We have 3 categories.
we got the overall show, we got the best paint, we got the best interior. And for that, I'm giving out 6 feet trophies, 5 feet trophies, and 4 feet trophies.
Okay.
Yes.
Because those cars, it's not any cars that can enter this type of competition.
Yes,
it has to be something.
It's got to be something that looks nice.
That looks nice. Not just you brought your damn thing out of your garage and then just bring it over there. You know what I mean?
No, it's gonna be a couple of
It has
guys.
to be clean, baby. It has to be clean.
It's gonna be a couple of guys
Mhm.
that get down with the whole get down.
Okay.
And they worked hard on these cars themselves without a mechanic.
Okay.
You know, without funding.
Yeah.
And
We gotta do what we gotta do, baby.
So we try to show love.
We gotta do what we gotta do.
We gotta,
You know what I mean?
we gotta let them feel the you know,
The love.
you know,
You know what I mean?
because that's what we do.
If
That's
you
what we
understand
do.
everything.
We try to make everybody happy, but you know you
Yeah.
can't. But we try to.
No, hey,
You know?
as long as you try, that's all that matters. Because you know what I'm saying, we need more of these type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of stuff going on in the city, and I'm very proud of my city, especially the last 5 years. Because 15 years ago we didn't have that many stuff going on. For some strange reason we we were stagnant. There was something missing. It was just like people ain't. Now all of a sudden, people are coming together and doing things. You know, there's still little pockets here, pockets here, but I see there's a bit more effort to bring things out, different type of thing, different type of stuff to do. Not just sitting there, go to the club.
Just like this car show, this is the third one.
Yeah.
I usually do this at RCC.
Yeah.
I do this every year.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I rolled by one time and I
Yeah.
saw like a whole bunch of cars.
Yeah, that
I
was
was like, what the hell is going on
That was
there?
my car show.
Okay, I rolled by one time and
I
I
do
saw
that
it.
every year,
I
bro.
actually saw
We
it.
bring it over here. So
Yeah.
next year.
There was all different color, blue, red,
Yeah, so
green,
next year
all
we're gonna
sorts
be
of
all
things.
over the place. We're gonna have a car
Yeah.
show.
Mhm.
Hopefully Boston,
Mhm.
Cambridge,
Mhm.
Somerville,
Okay.
and hopefully Providence.
Okay.
So we're gonna do
Springfield.
4 to 5 car shows next.
Give us a call.
How-
Give us a call if you want to call a car show in your city.
How's the promotion is going? Cause you know, and not everybody's into things like this or whatnot or whatever.
But that's what
But
you get. You
it-
get the people who
yeah.
into this stuff.
So
Just
how do you go about making the people know? I mean, besides coming here.
I'm a car person for one, so
Okay.
I know where all that stuff at.
Okay.
You know, so the people that see certain people you want.
Yeah, that is true. The people that's
You want
into
car.
it, like you want that type of crowd.
Just like the same people that go watch basketball game.
Or people that go
You know?
a race car,
Yeah, or
joint.
race car drivers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
People that go to
True.
parties.
True,
Everybody
true.
don't go to parties.
True, yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm
Some
saying?
people like to do
Some
other
go to a
things.
car show
Yeah,
instead
other
of going
things.
to that.
Some of them like to drive their cars to the club
True.
and just park them, right?
Yeah.
Parking lot
What?
pimping, baby. Parking lot pimping. We still doing it. Not me though. But yeah.
We got barbecue pits in the club's parking lots.
Yeah, but
I don't need to.
There's not too many. I think we should have, idea. For the food truck guys, you know what I'm saying? Go hang out in front of the club. Go hang out in front of that thing like 2
And
3
what
o'clock
do
in
you
the
mean
morning.
for the food truck guys?
I mean, there is, but
Hold on,
I don't think there's enough.
Hold up, no.
There's not enough.
It's a new, they just passed a new law right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
With
saw
the
that.
food trucks.
Yeah.
I
They-
saw that.
They got lists now.
I
They're
saw
gonna
that.
be everywhere all night.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
that's
I saw
good.
that. I saw that.
Everywhere.
I think
I
it's
saw
They
that.
finna
They just
make-
give them the.
They finna make it do what
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking that. So I was like, that's why I'm
They
saying.
even made me want to get a food truck.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I might want
Yeah,
to.
'cause they give them green light to go to
Yeah,
do
to
it.
do
Yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah,
they,
give
you
them-
know,
I
they
think
giving
it's
them lists like my man Merrill's, over
Yeah.
there. I already see they schedule. They got places they're gonna be off. It's crazy.
Mhm.
and
I think
it goes till 2 p.m.
it's gonna bring out something special to the
Oh,
nightlife.
it's gonna, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
And people getting off from work late can go get something to eat. But I think right now it stops at 2 p.m. and they're looking to make it go until 3. That's what I heard.
Well, yeah, not to be business. We've been
Hey,
fighting this thing
hey,
for.
hey, 2 o'clock right now.
We've been fighting it.
If
We've
I
been
didn't do
fighting
nothing,
this
I'm in the
thing
house
with
at 8
the
o'clock.
city for the longest. They're not trying to let it slide.
Hey, ain't nothing out here for me at 2 o'clock. Only some of y'all out here, not me.
But it's the Boston in us. You know the funny thing is, I go out of state, right? I go out of state, and my boys be making fun of me all the time. When it hits 2 o'clock, that's when they get ready to party.
They getting ready to go
Me, I'm
anywhere else.
done.
I'm ready to go to bed.
I'm ready to go to bed. Then I'm sleeping in the club. They're like, yo, what are you doing, man? This Boston cat, right? Yo,
know.
They be making mad fun of me. Yo, I can't. After 2 something, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to sleep. It is what it is. When I'm out of the city, they always making fun of me. But it
Okay,
is what it is.
I'm gonna go back to the schedule.
Go ahead.
3:30, car show begins on Sunday, June 29th.
Mhm.
At 5:30,
Yeah.
we're gathering to give out the trophies to the winners.
Okay.
And then at 6:30, that's when the music begins with KO Stone Band, Blackwater.
The Harmonizers of Boston,
Yes.
something special. Harmonizer Stars of Boston.
And
You know, they do-
Keels.
Yeah, they,
Keo?
oh yeah, yeah.
So, I'm sorry.
That's a lot.
They're harmonizing
The Harmonizing
I like
Stars of Boston, they,
yes.
Harmonizers, they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I get it.
And so now, what else is exciting is at
It's
8:30.
so hard
Yeah, that's
to say
At 8:30, we're opening up everything for a jam session. So we invite people to come down and join us at the jam session. We'd like for you to sign up. That begins at 6:30, but we want to just kind of play music together.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just having a good time.
having a good time in the streets of
stuff that
Harvard
people
Square.
usually don't do, and you see over in places like Harvard Square, people be outside dancing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a slightly a different culture.
Yeah, it's a different,
But I like the fact that they being open and inviting to different things.
Yes.
I like that.
Well, right now, tonight
Yeah.
in Cambridge is the big dance party. So they've closed down the streets and everything. Everybody is dancing in Cambridge.
right now.
Seriously?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
They do stuff like
Oh,
that.
yes.
And that's all races be out there. It's not just.
No, I know,
you
I know.
But it's like they got the main
I know.
street block.
I've gone to
Mass
I've
Ave.
gone to jazz festival around there. I've gone to
Yeah, actually,
so
our friend does that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
The jazz festival, right?
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a while
Yeah.
because I keep missing the date. Damn it! Nobody's telling me when.
Well, we'll make sure you catch it.
Yeah, and that's one
It's
thing.
gonna happen this summer though, right?
Because look, they do that. They do this with us now.
Okay,
Our
so
show.
but they're gonna do it this summer and all of that stuff, right? All of that gonna happen this summer.
Well, I think the Cambridge Jazz Festival, I think that just took place this past weekend.
Oh,
Yeah. So, but what I was gonna say is that, you know, we represent this organization called Ultimate Entertainment Group.
Okay.
And this is, Greg started this to bring some excitement to the Boston area and put some talented people together and to create these things. And that's what we've been doing, right? And it's just been, what we found is there are a lot of things going on a lot of time and nobody always knows when something's going on.
Something.
Right?
I'm one of those.
Like BAM's Festival is happening
I've
this
lost.
weekend on the 28th. And so shout out to Kat Morris and what she's been doing with that, right? Big up. But we have also talked about how do we create a calendar? How do we create a calendar
That would be
underneath Ultimate
I could just
Entertainment
have a
Group?
calendar, just put it in and
You just click.
yeah, just
And
cross
then
it
you
out.
go.
You know, if
Yeah.
I want to go to this one, I go to. We don't go to this one. Yeah, I
Yes,
would love that.
right?
That would be so nice.
Right, and that, because there's so many great things that happen and you see that they're all stacked and then you realize, oh, I can't go to that one because I promised this one or
Exactly. Yeah.
I spent all my
You
money
could
over
get
here.
Plan things. You got lost in it.
I don't know what he's
This is
doing.
Let me tell you what. You cannot get what he's doing.
What?
You know what he's doing?
Yeah.
We do short clips sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of short clips to keep promoting the show. And
Yes.
even after we moved out
Yes.
here,
Yes.
I spent a whole week after promoting my guest that was here.
Yeah.
That put it out.
Being a
And she got lost
producer,
over it.
no, but I'm not lost, but aware and mindful.
Okay,
Being
okay,
a producer,
okay.
doing the same thing. You know, I'm aware of my surroundings,
Yeah.
unless I'm about
Let's
the
just
car.
let's just not cross the border and get to the Pavilion section. That's all.
Yeah,
As long as we
not
don't get there, we
paranoid, but
good.
just like, okay,
As
you
long
know,
as we
he
don't get
already
there, we
moved my
good.
mic once, and now we moved over here, and now he's over here. Let me throw my hair back, you know.
He's just making sure that we look good. That's all. That's
right. Well, appreciate it very much so. But
well, yeah.
all of those things.
Mhm.
But yeah, Ultimate Entertainment Group. Why'd you start it, Greg?
What's the ultimate goal? Well, not so much the ultimate goal, but what
why'd
is the
you
goal?
start it? Yeah, why'd
Yeah,
you
what-
start Ultimate Entertainment Group?
I just wanted to try to get a lot of new artists seen, a lot of different things seen that are not getting seen.
Yeah. Because we lack certain resources, right? Like a big Not that we really need it, but it would help. A big major company right there in Massachusetts.
It's like my thing was to get a comedy circuit going here where sort of like a chitlin circuit where people had to come through here to go through there, and they had all these spots that everybody was connected where you can send people that, like, all your guests can come from here and go over here to Dorchester and be over here and go to Harvard Square. Same people end up in Somerville, and
you keep that circle
Yeah.
and you grow it.
You send the people all around to each other,
Yeah.
and you make that circle. So,
that's
but some of our people in Boston, they really don't.
Are we still back at that old school mentality? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Guys, we talked
that's
about
what I
this
think.
all the time. You
Everybody-
gotta let it go.
everybody figure, like, somebody's trying to take something from them, or you know, it's just not the right.
Trust me, and man, I was a promoter for 15 years. I know it. It's a cutthroat world. He knows because it's a cutthroat world. Like it's like there's no trust and there's no loyalty.
What I mean,
I'm talking about the promoting world.
It's
I don't know
just
about
like-
other world, but
no, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, in that space, and I mean, we just want people to be right. I mean, you don't have to be loyal to me, but do the right thing.
yes,
Because
That's
when you
it.
start
I agree.
straying,
I agree.
I'm
No,
no
but
longer
I
the
mean,
nice person,
let's
and
follow
then we
the
have a
rules.
problem.
Yeah, that's it. The rules.
Let's follow
and
the
that's the
rules.
thing.
Yes.
And if you notice with life right now, nobody's following the rules.
that's why it's so
Nobody.
chaotic.
Nobody.
That's why we got a whole bunch
Not
of
even in the
idiots out
White
here.
House. Not nowhere else. They ain't following no rules.
That's why
nowhere.
you got idiot out here on live talking about, oh, I just robbed this, I'm on 26th Street, I did it at 2 p.m. and then be shocked that the police came and knocked on their door. Like, really? Like, what the hell?
Right.
Seriously? Come on, dog. I'm saying. You know what I mean? So it's just, it is what it is, but we making progress. I gotta admit.
No.
I gotta admit, we made a lot of progress in the last 5 years. You know what I mean? Cause if you look at it right now, like how the old heads, I gotta talk about it. Like the old heads, sometimes they tend to try to block the way so that the youngin don't come in. And I think it's being it's loosening up now. It's loosening up now.
I didn't see that.
No, I'm talking about way back. The last
wait.
10, 15 years, most of the stuff that's happening out here in the city right now is youngins.
Yeah.
They're the youngins
I
that
see
do it.
my
Most of them.
whole upbringing.
And I
Even
applaud
when I
you.
was young, I was still trying to
Yeah.
teach the young ones.
Yes.
Even when I was still a young boy, knowing more
No,
than them.
there was a
You know what I'm
couple of us out there, but the majority was blocking. Let's be honest. They were
Yeah,
blocking.
and them were the ones that were sinking.
You know what I'm
them
saying?
were the ones that were sinking
They were
to
blocking.
do the things that the men wouldn't do themselves.
But now there's a lot of stuff that's happening. Like there's a lot of groups. There's a lot of independent promoters doing their thing, whatnot, whatever. And I applaud it. And I feel like they're getting a little bit they're getting along a little bit better now. So that is a good thing. So, because you haven't noticed this, hasn't been major in really incident and no program out in the last 5 years. Yeah, something here and there, you know, but not like it used to be like chaotic, you know what I mean, for a little while. But now it's kind of cool and I totally enjoy the whole togetherness thing that's going on right now. So I hope they keep it going and grow, and then, you know, everybody can benefit from it.
But that's what it should be about.
Yeah.
I have to say, when we did the first Franklin Park Coalition Blues, Jazz, Funk, R&B Music Festival
that's a great
celebrating
Hip hop.
50 years of hip hop, after the event was over, there were so many people talking about it. It was like a family reunion,
It was refreshing.
and it was just,
Right.
yeah.
It was refreshing.
A lot of people
Good to
just
see
really
that.
felt happy with the event, and yeah.
How do you feel about you know, like the park over there, Franklin Park right now? That I feel like they're not doing enough. Either. You got a place like that. I think it should be utilized a little bit more. I don't think it's being utilized enough. Because that park is a great park to do certain events in.
I think the biggest thing over there is parking, right? No.
Yeah, but
Not really.
not really, because if you go toward the back, all the way in the back, there's parking.
Is that by White Stadium?
park.
Yeah.
Yes,
See,
sir.
now that's different because they.
No, I'm talking about right there on Blue Hills, the Franklin Park.
Yeah.
Yes. We need that.
But a lot of people
You know how
used to
back
go
in the
to
day they
Franklin
used to
Park.
do a lot of stuff
people
back
used
in
to go to
those
Franklin Park and they park at White Stadium, you know, over there, and all the parking with a baseball field. But
Yeah,
now,
over there, back yeah.
now behind the zoo, they got a lot of that is going toward the White Stadium.
Okay.
They got all that fenced off over there, and they building part of that over there.
So, but parking is a little crazy.
Right
Basically,
now,
you
it
tell-
probably is.
No, but how do you feel about it? Because we have a space like this, and I feel like promoters are not using it enough, especially in the summer.
That's because you got certain organizations locking it down for them.
That's here.
Yeah, but they're not doing things all the time in
Yeah,
there.
but
though.
most of the time, but you can't get through there now that you're going through them.
And
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Them are blockers.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
and
Boy, I could get into some, but I'm not gonna do that.
But that sucked, though. That really sucked.
yeah, and there's a lot of funding that's available for individuals that know how to directly go get the funding. You know, so
But
there's a lot out there.
See, that's the thing. Do we have? You have trainings and all that other stuff going on and whatnot or whatever. Do we have like a workshop where we can teach
see.
the upcoming promoters, the upcoming well, not DJs so much, but promoters and people that was to invest in doing events in certain places that them themselves cannot get in.
That's part of the stuff that we're gonna try to start doing with the South End Tech Center, where we're gonna have different programs where we can teach people. You know, we have different classes for that to do, and you know, we have people.
Yeah, and so underneath the umbrella of Ultimate Entertainment Group, you know, we want to help people provide, you know, the ultimate experience, right? And we do know that there are processes and procedures and guidelines and way to get the money
That's
and
why
where
I
to
asked
go.
because most
And
of
that's
these
what
youngins
we
don't know
want.
anything about
Well,
those
there's
things.
but there's young people and there's individuals. So and that's what we want to do under Ultimate Entertainment Group is to find a way to provide those types of trainings to people, whether it's at the South End Technical Center or other locations, but really create a way for people to learn how to run their events, how to do their financial reporting, how to do all of those other kind of things that we have experience doing with Ultimate Entertainment Group. And I mean, we have some great people that are, I mean, Greg put together a great group of people for the Ultimate Entertainment Group.
Yeah, we have Frank Poindexter. You know, they own the Club Wally's, the oldest jazz bar in the country.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
These are my friends.
Big up.
You know,
yeah,
since
big up,
Mhm.
yeah.
My grandfather who built it and everything. Then we have Kevin Stone. He built Boston. He's like one of the.
He's actually on my Facebook.
Oh,
Okay,
I think so. I think Kevin is on my Facebook page. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's on my Facebook.
he does demolition. He
Yeah.
got big, all kind of companies. He do.
Cause I try to, like, when I add people on my thing, on my pages, a lot of my pages, I kind of pick people that's doing things. in
Yeah.
the city. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is.
Well, he
you know
did
what I
a
mean?
lot of stuff for the city.
Yeah. So
You know,
I
a
think
lot
I've
of
seen it.
big construction company.
so
Big.
Gerke put together, and I'm on that. You know, but you know, for me, it was like a privilege to be part of this team of experienced individuals, and
Yeah.
so the little bit that I know, they're helping me develop it because.
Big up to you, girl,
Hey,
man.
hey,
You know,
yeah,
you out here doing it,
because I'm working,
teaching
right?
yourself what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
You know, but a lot of these things, you know, I'm glad I'm at this space in life because I appreciate the challenges that people have when they're trying to build something and learning how to communicate and develop those lines of communication. Back in the day, I wouldn't have appreciated it. But now, you know, you recognize when you're working with people that have a lot of experience and here you are coming with your own mindset, rigid way, and then you have to find a way to relax that and trust.
Come and get
And
it.
so I've been
Make it
fortunate,
jail.
yes, to fall underneath this umbrella with Greg and Frank and Kevin, and you know they've allowed me.
We got a whole bunch of.
They allow me to be Yvette. You know, and that's
That's tough business right
Yeah,
here.
man, we got a couple other people that roll with us that's
It's
part of this team that makes it go.
yeah.
It's tough business.
We got Flyer.
We have Slick. We have Slick. We have.
I gotta give you guys some good credit and some good stuff, some applaud and whatnot or whatever. Because no bullshit. Yeah, you can curse at least. Not curse about there, but yeah, no bullshit. I have not seen it like this in quite a long time. Where you have like you know how they used to call it back in those days, little journals and stuff, like 2-3 pages. You know what I mean? That's exactly what that is, because if you close it, that's what it is.
It's a booklet.
It's a booklet.
Yeah.
But a booklet with all sorts of stuff
Hey,
that's.
but guess what? You see inside?
Mm-hmm.
These are finna start being filled up too inside.
But listen, I see the vision, man. I see the vision. I see the vision. That's the reason why.
We're gonna have a little magazine.
I keep telling you, there's a method to my madness, man. I'm trying to decipher. I'm trying to break down little by little exactly what you guys do. And I think I've done an okay job so
but
far.
listen, but you see
You know
what
what I
we
mean?
finna do? We finna advertise
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of here.
Okay.
These gonna be all advertisements for different other shows,
Mhm.
different other people things,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
sponsors, different.
And I was thinking, you know what? We could go a little bit further. I was thinking
Go.
I was thinking too. You could get, you know how you get those little green stuff in the streets. I did with the inquiries with all the stuff.
Yeah.
You could find a way to kind of put this in every hood. You know, like put them in those things and kind of direct people to go.
Like
If you want to know what's going on in the city.
Yeah.
Like a circus.
If you want to know what's
This
going
is-
on in the city, go get this booklet at every little stop, blah, blah,
It's
blah,
like,
blah,
remember
blah.
like this calendar we were talking
Yeah.
about? Remember this calendar we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Mhm. What kind of calendar?
Of all the events?
Of all the events.
Stuff how
You should
miss.
have a calendar for,
I know, I'm
for
saying.
the cars too.
Right, but I'm just saying stuff how you miss. You see how you miss, you just
I
miss.
know.
You know, so we should
I'm gonna catch up though.
Hey, we should have had that in here, you know what I'm saying? Have them.
No, and when.
I'm trying a lot of
Listen,
fire.
if we put all of our thoughts in a hat, if you put all of our thoughts in a hat,
That's
it went over.
a method to my
Hey, you
madness.
just turn me up a notch.
That's a method to
Hey,
my
you just turn me
madness.
up a notch.
That's a method to
One
my
of us
madness.
gets turned up, you know, and then, I mean, it's exciting.
It is.
For me, it's
I
exciting
think
because,
it's
you
really
don't always
think
get
about it. If you get
to
3,
work
4
with
more
people.
pages and then make it a booklet.
yeah,
listen,
but you don't always get.
But not just
A whole
pages.
year thing.
Hey, not just pages, sponsors, ads, everything.
Everything.
That they know we
A
come
whole
out.
year.
And see, we
Like
do,
you don't even have to go look
Look.
for it. All you have to do hold your booklet and then you know exactly what's going on for the summer.
and
Yeah.
we do one of these every month. We do one of these every month.
There you go.
Every
We do
month we
this.
do this.
We
Every
do
month.
this.
Okay.
We do this.
Like a newspaper.
That's what I'm
And we have a show every month.
See, that's why, yeah, this is cool. Because this is cool. It's original, and this is what needs to
Can
happen.
you tell she's a little?
I can tell we ready to go to work.
I
Just
put
like you see.
that little
Oh.
fight, and she's like,
Oh, I got it. I got it.
she's ready to go. She's ready to go.
Right?
I love that. I love that.
Sometimes-
You can tell when someone enjoy with you. You can tell. You can't fake it.
Yeah.
You can't fake it. And that was genuine. That was real right there. You know what I mean? You can't fake that. Because somebody that's I have thousands. I swear to God, I probably have thousands. I've had thousands of guests because I've been doing this shit for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
So I've probably had like thousands of guests, and I can automatically tell who's really about it and who's not. You know, there's a lot of people that talk.
Yeah.
But but a lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of people are scared of success.
Hey,
I better not
Hey,
be.
you know the first thing.
No, I'm serious. They're
You
scared.
know the first thing they say.
Because
to
when it happens, they don't know what to do with it.
Hey, you know the first thing they say to us? How did y'all do that in Harvard Square? How
You know
did
the
y'all
funny thing
do
is, that was
in
gonna be,
Harvard Square?
God damn it, why you, that was
did
gonna be
y'all
my
get
last
in-
question.
how did y'all get in Harvard
I kept
Square?
hitting at it, I was like, Harvard Square. But there's a lot, I kept hitting at it, but I was waiting till I went to the last goddamn, you done fucked up my interview. But it's all good, it's all good. So how?
Yeah.
I mean,
That made-
because I'm sure there's a lot of
Yvette
people.
brought me.
I'm sure there's a lot of people right now.
Yvette
watching.
brought me.
That's what. That
Yvette brought me,
wondering,
and I
wondering,
turned it on.
like, how did that happen? You know, how did you guys?
It's a lot of hard
Because I'm sure
work.
they're not gonna just allow just any type of organization to get up there and do whatever.
So-
They're not gonna allow it.
We put in work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I worked in the square for 20 years,
Mhm.
20 plus years. And so
Okay.
built relationships over time.
That's right.
And Pretty Poison and I, we
Big up.
also,
She's been here.
yeah, mm-hmm,
Big up.
you know, reaching out and trying to do some different things. And then Greg and I were connected via DJ Black.
Like Greg.
Yeah. When we did the Franklin Park Hip Hop Festival, I think it was a.
Tall, dark,
We did
skin
the
black.
first one.
We
We
did the
did
first
Tall,
one.
dark, skin black.
Black Greg.
DJ.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
did. I worked on the first one with a team of people from Franklin Park Coalition and
Mhm.
others, right?
Mhm.
But that one fell through.
Mhm.
That event fell through, and so we had to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
And
It
then
happens sometimes.
that's when I met Greg
Mhm.
and Albie.
Okay.
I knew Albie, but Black introduced us together,
Mhm.
and then I was like, uh-oh.
It was like.
I was like, uh-oh.
You can tell when the sparks happen. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, this one is
So
special.
right off the bat, we
This
make
one
a
is
move.
special.
Right off the
Yeah,
bat, we
I'm
make-
like-
Yeah, this one is special.
Right?
It's like, you know, because in our business, you know what I'm saying, whatever we do, whatever, you know, we get a lot of bullshit that comes in and then the ones that leave, you don't hear them. You know what I mean? Like I get it all the time. So it's like, but I'm sure you get it all the time too.
Yeah.
So when it does happen, certain times you really appreciate it. You're like,
Like,
yeah,
And
fire got me.
if you're smart,
Somebody's, you know.
if you're smart,
Yes.
you appreciate
You can
it,
recognize it
and then
too,
you
anyway.
try to go back in life and learn
Mhm.
the lessons that you didn't do before.
Yeah.
And I like I said,
That's what
it's
it's
an
all about.
opportunity that's
Trial and
been-
error.
yeah. I mean, I didn't know what I was getting into, but
Mm.
I knew that he was about moving and
Yes.
making things happen,
Hey, that's how
and
you
that
do it,
made me
man.
excited. I was like, oh yeah, okay.
What we do? We start making the
Listen, we ain't got time.
Yeah.
For you see the hat?
Ah.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the antennas high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't wear a hat, and that's why y'all don't
No,
know.
that's why you got
I
all
hide
these
mine
extensions
out.
connected to the universe.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah,
talking about? That's why
yeah.
we got this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is. They don't understand that but that's a whole nother show. I can kind of educate people about this whole hair business, but that's a whole nother show. I can,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
but
the
yeah,
pride.
Yeah.
It's the pride.
Yeah.
But when I moved here, I didn't have the locks.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
let me explain my little experience or experiment, I should say, whatever. This is my third time around,
Okay.
so I kind of understand it with or without it.
Yeah.
With it, I feel that's me. I'm not speaking for anyone. I feel complete with it. Without it, I'm okay, but I feel like there's a void. Something's missing. And it bothers me, and then it's like you try to forget it, you try to keep it moving, but it's not you. It's not me, you know what I mean? It's not me. Even if there's one branch left, it's still me, but without it, it's not me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what, I got it. So I can't. It's hard to explain, but it's more of a feeling or a vibe or energy type of thing. It's definitely energy, because once you cut it, that there's an energy that you possess.
Yeah,
In this area?
I've cut them.
Yeah,
I mean, sad to
you
say, I'm gonna
felt
tell
it.
you why I cut them
You
though.
felt it, though.
I was going to
I
Jamaica,
know you felt
and I love to swim, and I just couldn't have all that hair on my head
Mhm.
when I was out in the
But you
ocean.
felt it, though.
So no, I cut him. You know, we cut it in a style, and I did.
No,
take
I'm not
some-
talking about like cutting, like, you know, I'm talking about taking it all
No,
the way
I've
off.
never.
I have
I've
done
never,
that.
Right. So I've never taken it all off
I've done it 3
because
times.
I started them for a reason. You
Mhm.
know, it was empowering
Yes.
for when I started it,
Yes.
and from
I can-
where I worked, it was empowering.
I totally
Right.
get it.
And
It was more like at first it was more like we were bucking against the system. That's how it started for me. I was
Yeah.
bucking against the system.
my
And
mother didn't like
it
them.
became something else after
My
that.
mother didn't like them. She was like, You're gonna put the worms on your head.
Like I said, I was bugging it. When I say the system, I'm including our parents.
Yes,
because
it was
they
not
fall
for them.
under the whole system of thinking a certain way. That's the way it's supposed to be. Because somebody told them that's what it's supposed to be.
But I was also one
I've
of those
never
people
been that type of person.
that
I
guess
always question everything.
4 or 5 years old, I was wearing a relaxer.
I question everything.
Yeah, I was wearing a relaxer, but that's because of, what my mother needed to do at that time. So I grew up using relaxers, and then at a time I said, I just don't want to put this on my body anymore, and I stopped. And I tried the extensions, and then I cut them off, and then I went to a short afro. And
You went through it. You went through the
yeah,
whole process.
yeah.
I did that. I went
And
through the
so-
whole process.
and then-
Not putting the.
Well, this is how I ended up here. Is that I was trying to do this on my own, and there was a bus driver that when he used to see me pick up my kids at the Y, and he saw what I was trying to do, and then he said, "You know what? I'm gonna reach out to somebody and see if they can help you out." And lo and behold, that turned out to be Michelle. Shout out to Michelle's in Boston, who took me from where I didn't have anything, just the short hair, and she's just kind of helped me groom this over time. But yeah, so that's how that happened.
Y'all should thank me though, seriously, because I know how to bring out little stories like that out of you.
Oh, but
There's a method to my madness. I tell you all the time.
what? We got more stories
I love
or
those
what?
little personal stories. I love them.
You getting ready
I
to
try,
yours?
I try to bring,
Bring it
I try
out?
to bring it out of people sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's that human side of people. I love.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna have to excuse me.
You gotta,
Okay then.
Yeah.
the man is a busy man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's
you
busy.
gotta-
I wanna
make
stay
some
there and hang
moves.
with y'all.
Yeah. That was fun though. It was fun.
I wanna come back.
Yeah.
I wanna come back.
Definitely. We can do that again. Definitely. But you guys gotta keep me in the loop though.
No,
Okay.
definitely. We're gonna put you right in the loop.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you're
already
gonna.
told you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
So,
judge.
let's
Matter of
just,
fact,
you better go through it. Let's just wrap it up.
Matter of
Okay.
fact, look,
We can wrap it up.
June 7th,
Mm-hmm.
you can be a judge that night, right?
I mean,
I'm not
July
July 7th.
July 7th.
I meant July.
Yeah.
Email me all the information.
We
I'm
will.
there.
We will.
Yeah.
And we really thank you for allowing us to be on your show.
Oh, it was
Shout out to
it
Heavy.
was a pleasure.
Shout
'Cause
out
I
to
just
Heavy.
learned a lot of stuff that I did not know. And I know there's a lot of people that I'm gonna tell they're gonna be extremely happy because they're not club people. They
Yeah.
like those type of things, like they go.
And it's gonna be a beautiful day.
They love those type of things, you know what I mean? And I got my boy that he's a car cycle. Like that's all he knows.
And you know what's best about this car show?
Mhm.
It's free. It's free.
You see what I'm talking about?
It's free.
That doesn't mean everything else around gonna be free though. Bring your own money to buy your
Yeah,
own
you
food.
gotta-
Yeah.
Just provide this for you for free.
Yes.
It is
So-
what it is. So any last
and
words?
shout out to Heavy
Mhm.
because Heavy has been doing this, right?
Heavy, you the man,
Shout
son.
out Heavy.
That's my dog. Shout out to Guy Legacy, dude. That's my dog.
Oh, guys headed to New Jersey. But we get ready to wrap it up.
So any last words before you get out of here? Links, let them know where they can find you and all that good stuff. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Yvette. Do your thing.
UEGglobal.com is our website. If you're interested in being a part of the car show and you got a car,
You can call me Greg Smith, 617-487-1757.
that's right.
And
And
you'll be talking to me.
that's right.
That's right. Thank you guys for coming, man. I appreciate it, man. I like to have those little sessions like this. You learn a lot, a lot of information. I'm sure there's a lot of people probably didn't even know.
And that's what I'm going to
Shoot.
tell you. You have to promote this because you're going to be a judge on that. So.
Okay, I
You know
got
what
you.
I'm
Like I said, send all the information in my box, even if it's like logos, whatever the hell it is. Send it to me, and then
Okay.
I'm on it.
Okay then.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, big up to everybody. Thank you.
Thanks,
You already know what
thanks.
time it is, man. Posel Show. That's what we do out here every Friday night from 8 to 10. www.kstomeradio.com. That's how we do. Also, you could go to my Posel podcast on YouTube. We there. My IG. I'm everywhere. Just check me out. That's what it is. It is what it is. So we'll catch you again next Friday. That's what.
All right.
You got something you have to say?
I just
See
said.
you on Sunday. See you on Sunday in Harvard
So,
Square.
we out.
See you on Sunday, Harvard Square.
Thank you. Peace. Yes, I am.
Thank you, my brother.
Okay.
All day and every day.
Thank you, but my phone is blowing up on silent.
All day and every day. Hey. Hold on, I gotta stop this one.
Oh yeah, start the live.